Hi guys, it's April, and I garden down in southeast Nebraska, zone 6A. At least that's what we've changed to. And today I am going to be making my seed tape. I am not going to be able to put the seed tape in the ground about April or May. Fingers crossed that the garden beds are done by then. But I like to do it early because in a couple weeks I'm going to be in the middle of seed starting. So I'm not going to have time to make my seed tape. And I like making seed tape because it helps me with the spacing of my carrots. I don't have to worry about thinning later. And it just is easier to plant when it's time to get everything outside. It is a little tedious right now, but right now I have time, so tedious is okay. I have 8 different varieties of carrots that I'm going to be making seed tape for. I do this every year. I believe I have a video up already about me making last year's seed tape, so I will link that up above it and down below so you can go check that out. It'll probably have all of the same information because I'm doing the same thing. For each of these varieties, I'm going to make about 1 square foot of tape so that I can then go out and plant it later when it's warm enough to actually start doing that kind of thing. I don't necessarily have a spot on where these are going to go yet, so I am going on faith that by the time these need to be planted out, the new garden beds are in and I can actually do what I want to do. And it may be that 8 square feet of carrots is too much, but I'll find space for it. I do like to plan out my garden, but sometimes I just fly by the seat of my pants. So the varieties of carrots that I'm going to be growing this year are, I've got this Cosmic Purple, this Black Nebula, this Pusa Aceta Black, I've got the Uzbek Gold, this is a Deep Purple, the Dragon, the Kerosene, I think that's how you say that. And then the new one this year is the Lila Lusang. So those are all my varieties of carrots. I'll probably just show you me making one variety because you don't need to sit here with me for 2-3 hours making this seed tape. But I'll kind of step you through the process and what you need for making seed tape. So how I make seed tape, you're gonna need, of course, your carrot seed. I'm not actually gonna do this one. I think I'm going to start with, the Black Nebula. I think that's the one I want to start with. I have a ruler so I can measure out my seed tape, minus my hair. You don't need that. I have 1-ply toilet paper that I'm going to use to make the seed tape. This is my little pot that I'm going to make the glue in. This is my little dot maker for the glue. The glue is going to consist of flour and water. Any kind of water. I just have this bottled water that needs to be used up, so this is what I'm using. Then to mark my seed tape when I'm done, so I remember what variety is what, I have a pen for writing on the tape. Which means the first step we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make the paste. I have never measured this out. This has never been an exact science for me. I just add a little bit of flour. That might have been too much flour, but here we are. And then add a little bit of water. Let's see if I can do this without making a mess. You do want it more paste-like and not as runny. So in the end, it'll probably be more flour than water. But at the same time, you don't want it doughy. That's almost... It's kind of there, but not there. That's bordering on dough-like. Very carefully add just a touch more water. And hope that that wasn't too much water. The thing is, you don't want it too wet either because that'll compromise the seed. That's kind of a nice texture. I have the plate here so that I can just dump my seed pack on it. There we go. Let me get the flour and water out of the way now. So for 1 foot of seed tape, you're gonna need about, ooh, this is a little shorter than my last one. Let's see. Okay, here's what. I'm gonna break that part off. There we go. So about 1 square foot of, okay, let me rephrase that. 1 foot in length of toilet paper is usually about 3 squares. At least with my single ply paper. I can imagine it's pretty much the same. It's a standard size. I start by folding this over. And then I'll open it back up. Now, let me roll my sleeves. I'll start at about a 1/2 inch in on the paper, and I'll make a dot. And then 1 inch after that, another dot. And I'll just do 1 inch spacing all the way down. The tape. You'll get about 12 seeds for 1 foot in length. This is when we'll take the seeds. I like to wet my finger because it'll make it easier to grab the seed. And then you just drop the seed right on the dollop of the flour paste. I did use whole wheat flour, so the contrast is there so you can see where my dots are. And the object is to try and get only 1 seed per dot. But if you get 2 or more, it's okay. Now that that's done, you just fold it over, press it down. Now this is gonna need, oh, I don't know. It varies how long it takes to dry. Usually a couple of hours, sometimes a little longer. Now here we've got the black nebula. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark it as a EN. I'm going to get my garden journal out. And then I'm going to find a new page. I'm gonna label this carrot key. And then we'll start with BN is Black Nebula. This way, I'll have this key with me, so when I go out and replant and I say, okay, I put all of the BNs in this area, I know exactly what BN means later down the road. I've got the first one done. I'll need to do 5 more of those to equal 1 whole square foot. I'll just, since I know it's 3, I'll just automatically put 3 down. Fold it over. Open it back up. And then we're gonna go 1/2 inch in. Put a dot. Go over 1 inch. Put a dot. All the way down. And we'll see if I actually have enough seeds of the Black Nebula to do a whole square foot. And if I don't, that's fine. Just have to put it on my reorder list for next year and then plant what I have. Accidentally picked up 2 seeds there. Like I said, it is a little bit tedious making this tape, but there's something kind of wonderful about sitting and dreaming and thinking about the possibilities of what all of this tape will be in about 6 months. I find it relaxing, at least. And a lot of times I'll put maybe some YouTube videos on in the background or an audiobook, maybe a podcast. Just knock them all out. Okay, so this is BN. That's 2 down. Might actually be able to do all 6. So making all of that seed tape, making a square foot of seed tape, probably took me about somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes. I will attempt to put all of these seeds back in a little packet. Runaways. But I just need to do that 7 more times. About an hour and a half. It's not too bad. So I'm gonna let that seed tape dry, and I'm going to do all the rest of the carrots that I have waiting for me over here. After those dry, I have the container I actually put the carrot tape in. Inside this container, I have big Ziploc bags that I will put the tape in just for an extra layer of protection, because sometimes when I'm out planting, it is windy, it is chaotic, and I just need a way to protect things that I'm not ready for yet. So I guess now I am just gonna sit down, turn on an audiobook. Currently reading through S by J.J. Abrams. That is a trip and a half. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest it. It's more of an interactive read, but I think it's worth it. But if you want to see more content like this, if you want updates on what's happening with my garden bed builds, subscribe down below, hit the bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications. I also have a Instagram and Threads account in case you want to check those out as well. But this is going to be my next couple of hours, which means I am going to leave you here. I'm gonna get this done. I do hope I will see you again in another video, and I heard you beautiful faces. Bye.